Hello, everybody. I am Faiza Chelougi, moderator of this session. I am a member of ICMAI country representative of Tunisia. I serve as a member of the panel for Section 19, Mathematical Education and Popularization of Mathematics. This section aims to present key issues and research in mathematics education and new developments in the popularization of mathematics. In this session, we are pleased to welcome Clara Grima Ruiz from University of Seville. She is professor of applied mathematics, specializing in computational geometry. She is known for her research on scutoids and for her popularization of mathematics. I would like to give the floor now to Professor Clara, who will present to us the hug of the scutoids.
Thank you very much, Faiza. And I would like to share my presentation. So let's me to try. Okay. Okay. Some moment. Okay. Excuse me because I'm a little nervous, but I got it. So first of all, I would like to thank to the organizing committee of the ICM for this invitation to give this talk in the ICM. And you have to believe me if I tell you that receiving the email from Stanislaw Smirnov with the invitation was probably, was surely the happiest moment in my professional life. So thank you, Dr. Smirnov, if you see this presentation at any time. Well, we are going to talk about math popularization and a little about math education. Sorry, I'm a little nervous, as I said before, because this is the ICM. The title of this talk is the hack of the scutoid, and I think it would be logical to start by explaining what a scutoid is, in case there is anyone left in the world who doesn't know. What is an scutoid? Is it a plant? Is it an animal? Is it an urban tribe? Is it an entity? Nothing in that. If we search for it in Google Scholar, probably we will find this. I have some problem. We will find this. This article, this Nature Communications article with this claim that the scutoids are the geometrical solutions to three-dimensional packing of epithelia. Does this mean that we are going to talk about cell biology? Well, a little, but at the end of this talk. First, I want to tell you how I came to work in a cell biology group by serendipity. Let's start to talk about math popularization. When one think about this matter, about math popularization, 6 questions, probably 6 or more than 6 questions immediately arise. Who should do it? When? What mathematics can or should be disclosed? Oh, sorry, I have some problem with the. I'm doing a lot of spoiler.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I have here. Okay. As I said, when one think about the maths popularization, well, this question, probably more than 6 questions arise immediately. Who should do it? What what mathematics, what topics can also be disclosed, where, what type of support that's more suitable, when.
Please, Clara, please,
Yes.
the PowerPoint is not full screen here. We can, yes.
I don't.
You can begin.
Okay. I
yes.
will start
yes.
again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know what's happening because they works perfectly.
Yes.
5 minutes ago. Okay, okay. Okay. So, sorry. We are trying. Okay. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Yes, yes, a moment, because I don't know what's happening. I think that's probably my nervous.
No.
Overread. You can see now?
Yes, it's very good.
Really good. So as okay. Just a moment, because I can't see the presentation. Okay. Okay. With we can start by here.
Yes.
About the questions that arise when I think, when one think about popularization, who should do it, who should do popularization of math, what mathematics should all be disclosed, where, what type of support is the most suitable, when, anytime is good, how. Do you have to be funny doing popularization of math, or how much can the message be simplified, and why? I'm going to focus especially in this issue basically because I'm going to tell you about my own experience. Why did I start doing popularization of maths, and what I have learned since that day. I have to confess that I didn't get up one morning and saying something like this, that, oh, I must spread my math knowledge because that is so important for society. No, I don't feel like math avenger, marvelous word. Not at all. In my case, after obtaining my PhD with a thesis on computational geometry, I was lucky enough that a well-known publisher contacted me, and so I and my advisor, of course, embarked into transforming my PhD thesis to a book for that publisher. And in the meantime, I continued teaching at the Universidad de Sevilla. I continued with my research, trying to publish some papers and the Boston conference, and you know, and I was so happy doing this. I'm really happy, and I can't tell you singing because I like singing in my talks. So you can sing with me if you want, because this is a kind of karaoke, and it's a very known song. It says, I teach about graphs. No. I teach about graphs, the convex hull, and Voronoi for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful work. Okay, sorry, I like to sing in my talk, just because when I was a little girl, I just was wanted to be a singer like Lola Flores or Madonna or even Rosalia. So let's get to the important things. This is the most important mathematical congress in the world, and I have to be more serious and formal. And I was saying I didn't care about math popularization at all, at least as an actor. I was very happy just teaching, just researching about computational geometry of graph theory. So what is the starting point when my career in this field? Why I start to doing math popularization? And at this point, I think that the title, the real title for this talk should be Math Adventures and Misadventures of a mathematician mom. Why? Because if I hear today at the ICM in section 19 of mathematical education and popularization of mathematics, is thanks or because my sons Salvador y Ventura. Well, Salvador wears glasses, but sometimes he forgets this. My children are lucky that mom and dad are both mathematicians. That's if you think about it, that's dangerous because it exposes children to irrational numbers, for instance, from a very young age. For example, if you were a teacher like that or similar. Sometimes one day I was wearing a t-shirt like this, more or less, and Ventura, my son, when he was 6 years old, asked to me, "What's that drawing, Mom? It is a table or it is a soccer ball? Goal. And it's a number." I replied, "It's called pi." Actually, in Spanish, we said pi. Then I said, it's called pi, and it's a number between 3 and 4. And what's this? This was the Big Bang. He said, "Are you kidding, Mom? There are no numbers between 3 and 4. After 3 is just 4. You know, he was very little, 6 years old, and he lived in only natural world. So I kept saying, yes, there are numbers between 3 and 4. For example, there is pi, and pi is very important in our lives. If we didn't know the value of pi, we wouldn't know how to measure the cycles. Ventura, 6 years old, was thinking and said, "Sure, that's why pizzas are called pizzas, because they are round." Let me remark that here that in Spanish we said pi. We don't say pi, we say pi like as in pizza. Then Salvador, 8 years old, joined the party and asked to me, "How many numbers are there between 3 and 4, Mom?" "Infinite," I said, without thinking about the consequences of that answer. And of course, this second explosion came, and the question was, "What's its infinity, Mom?" Oh, sorry. "What's infinity, Mom?" Well, I tried to do my best explaining to them what infinity was, and I think I did well. Okay, they are almost functional adults today, and they still love me, I think. But I said something like infinity is something that's kind of achieved no matter how big a number is. If you add 1 to it, you have a bigger one. I mean, I even explained to them, drawing little squares, the problem of Hilbert's infinite hotel. Honestly, I don't think they understood anything in that moment. But the point was that in all those conversations with my children took me to a place I had never visited before. Until that day, I only taught at the university and never tried to teach math to kids who didn't know anything about math. And sincerely, I didn't know how to do it. It was really hard for me to find the words, to find the language to do it. I was not speaking on the same frequency as my children. But you know, I was the mom and I tried to answer those questions. And I mean, I had always been a little reckless. So I started making up some tales to explain those math concepts to them. Then their dad, my husband, encouraged me to write those tales, those answers in my personal blog, I kept at that time. And you mean that was long before the TikTok era. And actually, nobody read that blog before that entry, but suddenly those explanations, those tales about maths become quite popular, and I got thousands of clips. Fortunately, that post was read by administrator Raquel García Uldemolins. Raquel Gu is the artist's name, and she proposed me that we both could make a team for the dissemination of maths. Why not? I wrote the math sales, and she paints the illustration. And here we go. In this way, Mati y sus mateaventuras in Spanish. I think that in English will be Mati and her math ventures was born. Why tales? Why tales? Because why to tell math using tales? Why? My little experience as a mother until then, I learned that children learn many things when you tell stories to them, or when they read a tale, things like vocabulary, geography, science. So, as I said, I decided to write math tales. Or if you want, you can seek mathematics disguised as tales. They are the characters of the blog or the math tales. As you can see, any resemblance to actual persons or actual events is purely real. So we start to write, I think I said, math tales, and at the first, the topics that we tell, the topics were the typical ones in popularization of mathematics. I mean, games on a chessboard, sailing in the worlds of Alice and her wonders, Fibonacci, his numbers, and his rabbits, the golden radio, and how to use in art, Voronoi diagram, of course, and its applications in piñatas of candies for parties, some geometrical tricks to measure liquids that Jean Akiyama, a very big popularizator of math popularization, taught me. Even the problem, the sphere pattern problem in 3D. I mean, I tell them the story about Sir Walter Raleigh, Thomas Harriot, Kepler. You know, it's very popular, this problem this year. And by the way, congratulations to Dr. Villasoska for the medal. Following, we teach, or not teach, we write tales about graph theory, of course, because I love very much graph theory. But, oh, sorry, spoiler. So, but, and many other classic topics. But step by step, at the request of primary and secondary teachers, I was also introducing mathematical education topics so that they could use them in their classes. So the topics, I mean, education, of math education, like, I mean, the riders of the logs X, in order to solve simple and very mysterious equations, or what trick did Archimedes use to find, to approximate the value of P, the polar coordinate system that the favorite of pirates in their treasure maps. We have also Cartesian ones, but I love very much this illustration. Operations with fractions, also with naturals and integers, of course, the order of operations. And okay, I don't know what's happening now. The order, oh, sorry. Sorry very much, because I'm really nervous. So a lot of topics, more math from mathematical education. But the surprise for Raquel and for me was that very quickly our mathematical tales reaches many people and they enjoy them very much, or so it seemed, because we won many awards. The large publishing group in Spain, Planeta, even asked us to publish these stories in a book. We watched very, very soon translate into Korean. Primary and secondary teachers were the ones who used these stories the most with their students. So I began to receive invitations to go to their school and to give talks about Mati and her math adventures. During those visits to schools, everything was great. I loved very much, I liked very much, until I discovered things that made me sad. Many boys and girls are afraid of mathematics from a very young age. Girls and boys in their 5 or 6 were saying, I don't like mathematics. And I said, how do you know? You haven't studied maths yet. But even sadder was to the discovery that many primary school teachers are afraid of maths. Probably they were children that with a fear of maths who became teachers without anyone explaining to them the beauty of mathematical reasoning. But why are children afraid of math? Okay, because on the streets, on television, on the internet, in TikTok, many people say that they are afraid of mathematics. Kids hate math because they think it's normal, it's what everyone does. So I arm myself with courage and determination, and I think I have to end with them. I have to show everybody. Okay, sorry. I have to tell. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I have said to everyone how beautiful mathematics is. And I began to spread mathematics for all audiences in all the formats I could: talks, blogs, press, YouTube, television, radio, everything. And books, of course, because I'm a classic person, and I believe that the best way to learn something, whatever, is to learn is with books. And some of them, fortunately, have been translated into French, Italian, Hungarian, Korean, and Chinese. And well, like Indiana Jones, this is my last crusade, that everyone knows and enjoys graph theory. Actually, honestly, I was hoping to take a photo with this book, my graph theory books, in St. Petersburg, in front of Euler's house, but okay, it would be with Photoshop. Everything is okay. During these 12 years doing popularization, I have discovered that everyone likes mathematics, although some people still don't know it. And that is the motto that Casio has used in the calculator they have designed with my name. Well, I have more seed. Let me be honest with you. This is my last but not least adventure, is to write for the youngest of the house. This is a beautiful, I think, storybook to present math to children and parents. And yes, I'm in love with the characters. You can see that the hero is Mati, is a girl that loves, who loves mathematics and who is fan of Maria Mizahani and the Daveshis. And I love with the characters, the math monsters, and my favorite shirt is a graph, it's called Toski in honor to Kuratowski. So, but in recent years, a new concern came into my life. What's about girls? Why? Because in 2017, this article was published in which it became clear that girls thought mathematics was a boy thing, and it starts at an age of five years. Why? Mathematics is done with the brain. There's no reason to think that boys are better than girls. But even worse, this is what is happening with university studies in Spain. The orange curve in this graph represents the evolution of the percentage of girls who choose to study mathematics at the university in Spain, in the whole Spain. The blue curve is for the boys. What's going on? Around 2006, the curve of the girls began to descend. It got from 60% in 2000 to nearly 30% in 2021. Why? Everything seems to indicate that the new application of mathematics to technology have displaced the type of work that a graduate in mathematics does. Years ago, at least in Spain, the main occupation for graduates in math was teaching. Not anymore. Actually, in Spain, we have a problem. Very few math graduates want to be teachers, neither in secondary or university education. And many experts point out that this is the reason why girls no longer choose to study mathematics. For some reason, I think mainly because of social and cultural bias, girls choose to work in those professions that help to the community: physicians, teachers, nurses. And I say, well, but math is the most powerful tool we have to take care of world, to save the world. For this very reason, in recent times, in my last talks, I have added this perspective to my disclosure, explaining how mathematics can help us in fighting climate change, cancer, or antibiotic resistance. I don't know whether it will work or not, but I think that it's very important that the algorithms that control the world are created and supervised by everyone. Women are 50% of the population. Not taking us into account is a very huge bias. So, and all this for what? What benefits can I get from my work on math popularization? So now, yeah, it's time to talk about the scutoids. In December 2011, I wrote about Voronoi diagrams in a very famous blog, in Spanish blog for popular science. One of the people who read my articles on Voronoi diagrams was Luis Escudero, head of a cell biology research group in the Universidad de Sevilla. Afterwards, he contacted me, and they are Well, it was the beginning and beautiful and fruitful collaboration. His research group wanted to know how the epithelial cells packed together in order to form tissues. The architecture and packing of curved epithelia remains largely known, and it was known that the results for the two-dimensional model are not valid anymore. So that's the transition for unplanar tissue. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, that's the transition from planar tissue epithelial to a cylindrical, ellipsoidal, or spherical form involves a very subtle reorganization of the cells. Let me tell you that an epithelial tissue can be thought as a slice of bread. So cells are attached laterally, and we can identify the upsurface and the downsurface for a given epithelia called the apical and the basal surfaces. The problem here is how to create curvature in that epithelia. The former standard answer found in all the books of cell biology was that those cells had a geometry given by prims or truncate pyramids. But a close microscopic examination on a curved epithelia shows that the neighboring cells are not the same on the apical and the basal surfaces. I mean, for a given cell in the tissue, we find that it's surrounded by different neighbors in the basal, in the apical layer and the basal one. For example, in the epithelial tissue of the cylindrical salivary tubes of the fruit fly, something like this was observed. I have some model, 3D model, but I try to explain with the presentation. You can see that the neighborhood is different on that surfaces. If you look at the apical surface, for instance, you can see that the yellow cell and the blue cell are a neighbor. They touch each other. But in the basal surface, you can see that the yellow cell and the blue cell are not touching, are not neighbors more. So what geometric shape achieve this? It's impossible. This situation, what is impossible is the cells are just prisms or truncate pyramids, because in this case, the neighboring would not change. It would be only a projection from the apical layer to the basal one. Okay. So another model for those cells was needed. And of course, the first idea is to consider some variation of Voronoi diagrams, but the problem is that the model must predict what really happens in epithelial tissues. After some fails, a lot of fails, we finally model the scutoids following the next step. We start with a given surface, the cylinder, for instance, thinking about the Drosophila salivary tube. Then for each point at the apical surface in the side, we consider the normal vector, I mean a segment between the basal and the apical surface through its normal. The intersection of these line segments with the basal surface determine a point. Moreover, we can consider all the parallel surface from the apical to the basal ones, and we will have seeds points at every layer. We can think in a toilet paper and every layer. So the next step is to compute the Voronoi diagram on the seed obtaining in each one of the parallel surface. We linked the Voronoi regions corresponding to seeds on the side segment, obtaining a three-dimensional figure. That figure is what we call a scutoid. And Eureka, we could see that nature was agree with us. So this is the path, or that's how thanks to doing math popularization, I published an article on cell biology, and we discovered a new geometric shape. We even appear in the New Yorker, it's a very important magazine, and you can shop whatever you want with the scutoid form, but this is not for us, because we have no patented the form, but we can find shoes, glasses, and even jewelry. So the path was, in this history, the path was outreach, research, and again, outreach back. The title of this talk was inspired in this cartoon by Raquel García de Molins as the illustrator. We worked with me, we worked together, and she tried to show this story like biology and mathematics one day saw each other and joined in a hat discovering the scutoid. But I like to think that they can also be think that that research and popularization, research and outreach and dissemination, they look at each other, and they fall in love and merge into a hat, the scutoid hat, that makes them both stronger. And I think that that's all, folks. I want to talk to tell you, and that's all. And thank you very much for spreading math around the world.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Clara, for your original and excellent presentation.
Thank you.
There is still time. Would you like to add a few words? If you want? There is still time. Would you like to add a few words?
I can show you, if I time, the 3D model.
Okay.
You have to understand, I'm a little nervous. And I study mathematics because I can do nothing with my hands. But this is the model of the scutoids. Okay. Passing. Okay. You can think this is this is the salivary tube of the fly. So if you look at this, and the basal surface is this, you can see that the ring, the green and the red cell are neighbors. But if you look at the of the apical layer, they are not neighbor. So when we make the calculations about Voronoi diagrams, we have this form, this figure, that is the figure that have the scutoids. So mainly for merchandising, we use this kind of scutoid. And I like very much this because it's a gift from a friend. This is the real half of scutoid, and you can use scutoid as well as to put some pens. So it's very important to know the geometric structure of the epithelial cells for reasons in order to, I don't know, in order to detection of cancer, or in order to print 3D cells, 3D tissues, artificial tissues. But it's scutoid is nice, is always it's too nice as merchandising.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Clara. Many thanks to everybody, and many thanks to Green's Room Assistant 10. Thank you, Clara. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.